Don't have an account in AWS, just try to create an account in AWS. Okay, how you create an account in Facebook, in the same way you can create a account in AWS. It will ask some credit card or debit card details. Give it and try to create an account, because in future whatever I'm going to discuss, everything will be in AWS cloud itself. Now let me open the Git class calendar. So next 10 days, okay, just don't see these dates, just avoid. But for Git it will take nearly 10 days for me to complete the total Git. So it will be daily 10 to 11 a.m. If there is any changes in the time, I will ping you, okay, in WhatsApp. Okay, but max 100% it will be 10 to 11 a.m. So this is, and for Git it will take nearly 10 days to complete. So that's it, and let us start day 1 of Git. So what are the terms you need to understand in today's session? Nothing but repository. So what is this repository? Repository is nothing but a folder. In Windows, how we will call it as folder, in Linux world they will call it as a directory, right? Now Git world they will call it as a repository, nothing but one folder. So oka folder ni vallu kotta perlu pettukunnaru ante. So they will call a folder as a repository, just that's it. So repository is a storage location. Now let me open enable the pointer. So often table of contents is also stored along with metadata. So nothing but you will store your data. So what is this version control system? So version control system, also known as source control, is a practice of tracking and managing changes of software code. So it will be like very hard to read, right? But nothing but just imagine whatever the developer written the code, they will store in some location. So that location is called as version control system. How we have nickname, in the same way version control system will call it as a source code, so source control as well. Version control can call it as a source control as well. So like just imagine, like for suppose I have a movie, I have a photos, what I will do, I will keep in Google Drive, right, to access. Like for suppose I want to share with my 10 friends, they can able to see my photos, my wedding photos, everything. Then I can store it in remote location. Remote location is nothing but Google Drive, so they can able to access. In the same way, in company, group of developers will work, nothing but group of people will going to work. They need to store the code in one location, so that everyone can able to see and access to it. So nothing but version control system is nothing but you are storing your code in one location, that's it. So next, now let us just look at a CI/CD pipeline in DevOps. Okay, this is the major CI/CD pipeline. Okay, I will explain, you don't worry. So first, now I am starting Git, right? Next 10 days Git will be going to explain. Then after I will start Jenkins. Next 10 days it will take for Jenkins. After completing the Jenkins, I will start Docker. After completing the Docker, I will start Kubernetes. After completing Kubernetes, I will start Terraform. After completing Terraform, I will start Ansible. After completing Ansible, I will start monitoring. Okay, after completing monitoring cycle, same Git. Like this I will follow the cycle. Okay, now just imagine this is the group of developer, they have written the code. So nothing but, so just imagine this is the people who want to access the wedding photos. So just imagine version control system is nothing but a Google Drive, so they want to access it. So in the same way, whatever the developer written the code, right, they will store that code in version control system. We will take that code. Okay, we will take that code. What we will do, we will create a package. What is this, that package? You no need to worry, I'm going to explain briefly in upcoming sessions while discussing Jenkins. Okay, nothing but oka setup file ni create chestam manam. So now let me come out, let me go to File Explorer, Downloads, let me go to Programs. So if you see, this is a Git software. Let me go to Properties. So what the application is .exec. Nothing but this is a setup file. We are going to create this setup file. Developer will write the code and he will push the code to the GitHub. Okay, we will take that code and we will convert it to a zip file. You can imagine as a zip file. It may be just a setup file, so that now if I have a setup file, it will be very easy, right? I will just double click and I will install the software. So in the same way, we need to create a setup file. So after creating the setup file, how we will create a setup file? We are going to use some tool. So there is a tools available. They can help us to, like, for suppose how I can able to, like, I am hungry now, I want to eat something. How I can able to do? I can book in any booking application, right? Zomato, so that he will come to me and he will give me, right? In the return I will give an amount, but my work was going to happen easily, right? In the same way, here Maven is helping us to create that package easily. That's it. So there is some simple command to execute to generate a package. You no need to worry, even if you don't know Maven, just don't worry. During Jenkins sections I am going to explain what is this Maven. Okay, after generating the package, now everyone using Docker. So imagine Docker is a image. Okay, nothing but, like in olden days we are used to watch a movies. How we are used to watch a movies? We have a CDs, right? We will insert that CDs into a DVD player. We used to watch that movies. Just treat this Docker as a CD, Kubernetes as a DVD player. Without CD we cannot able to watch a movie in DVD player. In the same way, without Docker Kubernetes will not work out. So Kubernetes will manage this Docker. So what is Docker? What is this Kubernetes? I will not discuss today. We are going to discuss during Docker sessions. This is just a hierarchy I am sharing to you. So now if you see DevSecOps is nothing but whoever manages the monitoring part, they will call it as DevSecOps. So now this going trending nowadays. So you no need to, like, whenever you heard some new terms, just to search about that term. There is no, you no need to worry about that. So then after, as I said, if you have a servers, well and good. If you don't have a server, you will create a server using Terraform. If already servers was present, you want to copy into multiple hundreds of servers. Is it possible manually? Yeah, possible, but it will take too much of time. But if you want to copy in seconds, you can use Ansible. Using Ansible, you can copy the files into different servers within seconds. So for that you will use Ansible. So then after it will be released to the market, users will use that application. So okay, after setup was done, you need to monitor, right, everything. So for that you will be having Elasticstack or Prometheus, Grafana. So that part we are going to discuss. You no need to worry. After completing the Kubernetes, Ansible, last we will discuss about monitoring. So in order to set up this total, we need to, how we are going to set up this? Like for suppose if you have a train, right? In train, nothing but it's a single train, no, right? You will be having different boxes. That boxes will be connected to a engine, right? Here also this is nothing but a different boxes of train. I need to connect to the engine. So here engine is nothing but Jenkins. You can use Jenkins or you can use Azure DevOps. Okay, both are same. If you know Jenkins, you can directly tell in the interview, I know Azure DevOps. Just watch some tutorials of Azure DevOps. Just learn some scenarios. That's it. You no need to worry, like, I don't know Azure DevOps, how to crack a job. You just need to have a confidence to tell, yeah, I know Azure DevOps. I already worked in Jenkins. Okay, at present I get an opportunity to work on Azure DevOps, but I have more exposure on Jenkins compared to Azure DevOps. So you are indirectly telling that I don't know Azure DevOps, I have worked in Jenkins. So you need to tell them smartly. I don't know Azure DevOps. If you say, they will not hire you. You need to tell, yeah, I know the knowledge of Azure DevOps, but I worked on Jenkins. I have a little but exposure, a little knowledge on Azure DevOps. Yeah, but I can able to manage. You need to tell in that way. Then people will hire you. So what is the requirement for code collaboration, right? What is the necessary, why developer need to connect and work together? Because multiple developers should be able to work parallelly, right? There is, like, for suppose if I have a project, for single project only one person cannot able to work, right? They should have multiple people to work. So that, for that reason, you need to have a collaboration of different code. So versions for every change should be maintained, and should be should be possible to navigate to previous version, right? Now developer written the version 1, now he have upgraded to version 2, now you want to get back to the previous version because that version is not working. So at that time, for versioning purpose also, you need to have a collaboration of code, and should be able to support multiple customer versions and product versions. So for that reasons, you need to have a one type of software to manage this. So now version control system. So these are software tools that help software teams to manage changes to the source code over time, right? Nothing but tool. So version control system keeps track of modification the code in special kind of database. If a mistake is made, developer can turn back to the clock, compare earlier changes and fix the code and move back to the earlier version. Okay, what is the use of version control system? Nothing but Google Drive. So just imagine as Google Drive. What is the advantage of version control system means, like, for suppose if you have, you can go back to previous version as well in version control system. Yeah, please try to mute yourself. Just try to mute yourself. We are getting background disturbance. Hello. So yeah, what are the types of version control system? Like, we will be having centralized version control system and distributed version control system. There is a two types of version control system. So centralized version control system is the old one. Okay, I will give I will be discuss only 30 minutes of class, 30 to 40 minutes. Then after nearly 15 to 20 minutes will be there. At that time you can ask doubts if you want any, if you want to ask anything. So centralized version control system and distributed version control system. What is this? You no need to worry. So everything I will compare with real life example, right? So centralized version control system, like nothing but, just imagine I have a movie, okay, where it is located in Google Drive. I want to watch this movie. What I need to do? I need to have an internet connection. I need to connect 24/7 to that Google Drive so that I can able to watch that movie. So this method is called a centralized movie, nothing but centralized version control system. So in the same way, another was, so centralized version control system, this is the architecture, okay. So this is the developer 1, this is the developer 2. He has written the code, okay. Now whatever he is writing, working the, right, he need to connect 24/7 to this server, because whatever he written the code, it will be located in this location. Okay, he is one developer, nothing but just imagine, this is me and this is my friend. We are watching a movie using a Google Drive. I need to connect this 24/7 to watch the movie. In the same way, he will be also connect. So in the olden days, they used to connect this to this to use it to work. So because their code is located in centrally. So for suppose if the internet fails, so they just simply sit and play. So time was going to waste. That's the reason this centralized version control system gets failed. Then after distributed version control came into the market. So centralized version control system, what are the centralized version control system companies are available? So if you see Subversion is a centralized version control system. Perforce, IBM ClearCase. So these are the centralized version control system. So in previously they used to rule the market. Now there is some disadvantages, right? That's the reason we came a distributed version control system. So now let me explain this distributed version control system with real life example. Like for suppose I have a same Google Drive, I have a movie. Now what I do, I will download that movie into a local repository, local folder, okay. Then I can able to watch movie anytime. I don't no need of any internet. When I need to have an internet when I want to download some other movie in the same Google Drive. So in the same way, whenever developer write the code, right, they will store the code in this Google Drive. Google Drive nothing but just imagine Git. Okay, so coming to Git, advantage is you can able to download that code in your server, in your local server, and you can use that code to work. Whenever you want another code, then you need to connect to the internet. But normally for working internally, no need to have any internet. In the same way, if you see, I want to watch a movie, first I will download that. I will kept for downloading. Git will call it as pull. In Git term, downloading nothing but pull. So you no need to worry. I'm going to discuss these things in upcoming sessions. Okay, my teaching will be like web series. You need to watch every episode, then only you will understand. So distributed version system architecture. If you see, he is a developer 1, he is a developer 2. He will connect to the server whenever he need a updated version. But locally he will have some code. You no need to connect 24/7. Whenever you want a updated change, then only will connect. If not, he will work locally with the same code. Nothing but a local copy will be added. So this is a movie will be downloaded in his local system. You can watch that movie every time, but you no need to have an internet. If you want another movie, then you will connect. So if you see, what are the distributed version system available in the market? Git, Mercurial, Bazaar. So these are the three companies providing, but Git is a winner here, and Git is ruling the market. So in future, if some other tools come, you need to learn that, but the flow will not end. So Git is the most popular version control system. Yes, it's the most popular. Git was created by Linus Torvald, who created Linux kernel. Nothing but whoever created this Linux operating system, he only created this Git. So let me show him. So he is nothing but he is a Linus Torvald. Okay, he has created this Git, and he also created the Linux operating system as well. He has created this Git because he has seen some disadvantages of centralized version control system. For his purpose, he has created the Git, and he has kept it to open source. But for him purpose he has created, but it has become huge hit. So now people started using, and it has become a famous. So like how GUI has become famous, he has kept free, right? Now people started using and they have addicted. So in the same way, he also created the Git, and he just kept free for everyone. Now people started use that, and they have make him as a celebrity. So in the same way, how people has make GUI as a top company, like Git also become like that. So the primary objective behind Git was to implement and design a version control system that was distributed, reliable, and fast. So yeah, you can understand, right? So it will be very fast and reliable, and it can be very easy to use. So this version control system was created to manage Linux code base. Nothing but for his Linux code, he has created this version control system. So like Linus Torvalds has three criteria like behind creation this. So it should be distributed, nothing but everyone can able to share and everyone can able to work, and it should be efficient, and it is safe, nothing but no one can able to hack, safe from corruption. So there were no open source distribution version control system in mid 2000s. Nothing but during 2000 years there is no open source software is available. Everyone was earning money, but Linus Torvald kept Git as a open source. He developed Git and out of necessity. So for his purpose he has created, and he has kept open source. So from then it was used by many people, and it has become a huge success. So what are the repository types? So as I said, right, in Linux they will call it as a directory. In Windows we will call it as a folder. In Git world they are called as a repository. So in repository also we will be having different types. If it is code repository, we will call it as version control system. If it is software package, nothing but apt-m. In Linux, if you want to install softwares, that software package repository we will call it as. So if it is package repository, for language based you will be having Java, Python, Ruby, .NET, right? That call it as a software package repository. And in the same way we will be having artifact repository. Nothing but I have said, right, we will generate a package that package will be stored in this Artifactory repository. So it will be Docker Hub, Docker registry, it will be Nexus, it will be Artifactory or JFrog. So you no need to worry, you are going to learn these terms, but I need to show, right? I need to show before, so you need to wait for the climax, then only you will understand. So need of servers in distributed version control system. So this is the basic architecture. Like as I said, whenever I teach anything, I will compare with a real life example. Just watch this. This is a tree. So I pour a water. So nothing but I add a water. After getting fruits, I get a stage to earn money. Right? I get a stage and he is smiling. Nothing but he is a farmer. He has seen that fruits was available. What he will do? He will sell that fruits to local shop owner. So nothing but he has did some commitment to sell that fruits. Then after local shop owner, what he will do? He can sell that fruits online using remote. So in the same way, Git also you will be having different stages. So starting stage will call it as a working tree. So whenever you add the changes, you will add that changes, then it will come to the staging area. Okay, after that you will do some commit and it will come to local repo. Then you will push that code or pull that code. Pull nothing but download, I said, right? So it is a remote repo. So here remote repo is nothing but GitHub. So this is the basic architecture. So whenever you want to convert a normal directory into a Git, you need to execute Git init. Then a .git will be created. Why .git will be created? Because in order to maintain the versioning, then it needs to get this .git folder. What is this .git? You need to worry. In upcoming days we are going to discuss. Okay, this is the working tree. Whenever you created a new file, it will comes to the working tree. Then after you need to add that change to the staging area. You will be using a command called as git add. So after adding, you will need to commit that to local repo. Okay, from local repo you will push to the remote repo. So remote repo is nothing but many like companies are available. It might be GitHub, it might be GitLab, it might be Bitbucket. So if you imagine just we have Ola, Uber, we have Swiggy, Zomato, right? Both are same, both are providing the same service, right? But the UI part will be changed. In the same way, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, three are same. If you don't know what is Bitbucket, just you no need to worry. Both are same. Here Ola, if you don't know Ola, if you know Uber, you can able to use the Ola as well, because both are same. Only the UI part will be changed. In the same way, if the companies ask, our requirement is GitLab, in our company we are using Bitbucket, do you know? If they ask, just simply tell, yes, I know, I have a knowledge of Bitbucket, but I am more exposure. I have more exposure on GitHub compared to Bitbucket. You need to tell that. No problem, I can able to manage Bitbucket. Like that you need to tell. You just no, I don't know Bitbucket, we are using GitHub only in the company. If you say like that, they will not hire you. So you need to smartly attend the interviews. So these servers which host distributed version control system can be installed on servers in your organization. So how we can use this softwares? Nothing but how we can use Git. So you can use this in your organization. That nothing but you can install in your company. So can be using version control system as service. Nothing but you can able to use it as a service. Nothing but there will be some third party organizations are available. They will manage for you. They will provide you service. So version control system providers, if you see, AWS was providing as a code commit. You can store your code in AWS code commit. So it will be hosted by AWS. In the same way, Azure source repos, and it will be provided by Azure cloud. Nothing but Azure company, nothing but Microsoft providing the Azure source repos. You need to pay an amount to use this. So in the same way, we will be having GitLab. So GitHub, whoever created the GitHub, they have a GitLab paid version. So you can use that. So depending upon the company, they will use that. Okay. So some companies may use AWS code commit, some companies may use Azure source repos, some companies may use GitLab, some companies may use GitHub, some companies may use Bitbucket, some companies may use Gitolite, but everything was same. It's a different companies, different providing, but service is same. Okay, GitHub, GitLab, everything is same. Only UI part will be changed, but their command Git, nothing but Git only. So just imagine this is a Google Drive. Okay, Google Drive was provided by Google. There is one more called as OneDrive. OneDrive was provided by Microsoft. But both are same. Service was same. Only the UI part will be changed. Company will be changed. In the same way, you will be having different companies is providing. If they ask, AWS code commit, Azure source repos, just refer what is some tutorials on Azure source repos, how to use that Azure source repos. Then just have some idea. Then tell, yeah, I know Azure source repos. I have worked on it. You need to blame. You need to tell lie. Then only you will get a job. Because companies are doing the same. Companies are just asking, we want this guy, we want this many people, we want 10 plus years, 15 plus years in Kubernetes. But Kubernetes came into the market in 2016. How they are going to expect 10 plus 15 plus years experience in Kubernetes? Kubernetes just started implemented in 2016. Now they are expecting 10 years experience in Kubernetes. If they are doing scams, we are also able to do the scam. Then only we can scam in legally. I am not telling you to do illegal. You need to do it legally. You need to practice. You need to learn. So what is the public? So in the same way, what are the repositories you will create, right? So like for suppose in Google Drive, I can keep it as public, the URL. In the same way, I can keep it as private, nothing but only for some users only. Like that, in repository also you can use public and private. So you will be having self-hosted and cloud-hosted as well. So coming to cloud hosted, nothing but AWS. You need to create an account, you need to pay the bills, and you can work. So there will be public repository, anyone can view. Private repository, only who have access can view. In the same way, right, Google Drive, who can able to access Google Drive? If it is private, I will give the email IDs. Only that people can able to see my recordings. So if it is public URL, no need to have a user, you can directly access. Self-hosted, nothing but everything was set up by on self. You will download the server, you will install, you will maintain, everything will be managed by you. So now what are the activities we need to use? Like if you want to if you have a Azure, just try to create an Azure free tier account. If you want AWS, just create an AWS free tier account. So how to install Git? In Linux you can use apt install Git. Using that you can able to install Git. So what's next? I am expecting you to create a account in AWS or Azure cloud. If you have an account, well and good, just try to create an account. So that's it for today. Right now just create an account, because whatever we explain, we are going to use this AWS cloud. Okay, I will create one simple servers, nothing but just if you confuse this, what is this AWS, why you are using AWS, just go back. Everything will be correlated with real life example. Like in my childhood, like I don't have enough money, right? Enough money to purchase a cycle. What I used to do, I used to take rent for 1 hour, because 24/7 I don't use cycle. I just want 1 hour to play. So what I used to do, I used to go to a shop who sells cycle per rent. So I used to take for rent. At that time I think only 1 rupee per 1 hour. So I used to give that, and I used to use that. So here I am using this operating system. So this is a Windows system. I purchased this laptop. Now I want 100 laptops. Can I able to do that much of investment? No, right? In the same way, I am creating one laptop. That's it. Nothing but I am creating a server. I am taking that server as a rent. Just a moment. So we are just taking, like in childhood how you should take as a rent. In the same way we are taking the servers as a rent. So you can create any server using this AWS cloud. So like for suppose if you want to create a Ubuntu server, you can create. If you want to Windows, you can create. If you want Mac OS, you can create. Like for suppose if I go to shop, right, I can choose any cycle. I can choose Ranger cycle. I can use so costly cycles I can able to take, right? So depending upon the cycle, the price will be varies. So if you want to take a bike rent, you can take. So depending upon the bike, they will charge different rent. In the same way, whenever you create any server, if it is very less configuration, the amount will be less, right? If it is like, if you see instance type, so cycle type, here T2 micro 1 GB of RAM memory, 1 GB of memory, 1 CPU, then charge will be very less. If you see 0.0124 USD per hour. If you take another T2 medium, it is 4 GB memory, 2 CPU of RAM, charge will somewhat high. So in the same way, depending upon your type of instance, the charge will going to high. So in like just treat this as a compare with your real life example, then only you will learn anything. Like for suppose many people will afraid of the security group. Why we are allowing these ports, why we are using all traffic? Nothing but I am in apartment, I need to have a security, right? I will be having a security guard. He will check whenever he will not allow everyone, right? They will be have some rules. They used to check the details, then only they will allow into the apartment. In the same way, we are creating the server. Who are going to access this server? Who should have an access? Who can allow to log in within the server? That permissions will be done through security group. That's it. You will just create launch instance. If you want in-depth knowledge in AWS cloud, I used to provide that AWS cloud training as well, but you no need to have that in-depth knowledge. For DevOps, basic knowledge is enough. So yeah, that's it for today.